Hello, I'm very excited to speak today, and my presentation is mainly for startups and brands. I hope I'll make it useful. It will not get boring. My mind thinks in bullet points, so I'll just take you point to point on who we are, how we got there. We also had a celebrity come on board to help us build the brand, and also we got investment from a large TV network, and all of this I'm going to share with you. So first of all, Feel. What is actually Feel? Well, it's a wellness brand. Some of you might have seen it. We're vegan, plastic-free. It feels good too. We are one of the first brands in the UK to be a clean label brand. In 2019, that's still new. Now it's becoming more popular, but we're one of the first ones to drive it. We're fair priced because of our subscription model. So instead of milking customers from the first purchase, we prefer to think customers will stay with us for months and months and years, so we don't have to have that huge markup like retail brands do. But we're also now a little bit more retail. But digitally native, and we're a subscription business, so quite convenient. As a company snapshot, we launched, as I said, in 2019 after a small test, and the test went well. So shortly after, we had the full launch in January 2020. Currently a team of 30 people. Most of us are based here in the UK and London. We have 19 products now and growing. Initially, we started with a multivitamin, UK market focused and expanding to the European Union. And we're data-led. That means that data is very important to us. We measure absolutely everything in the business, and if we can't measure it, then it's likely that we're not going to do it. But we are aiming to become data first. That means that data is going to drive most of our decisions, and I strongly recommend that you adopt this thinking for yourselves, because end of the day, it has to make sense financially, and if you can't predict something, the numbers can help you predict that. So 100% of the revenue currently is direct-to-consumer revenue, and 95% of that is subscription revenue. So if you're doing a subscription or planning to do a subscription, this presentation might help you in some shape or form. And we have retail presence. We launched in Holland Barrett, but I'm not going to brag about this. It's a good achievement. So how it started? It started off with being with a burning desire to build the best multivitamin in the world, but apparently the vision comes first and then the execution. So don't expect your product to be as good as it will become over the years. You'll still reiterate or perfect it, but be sure that you have a clear vision for that. And when we released the product in 2019 as a test, we said it was the best multivitamin in the world. Of course, it wasn't, but we did charge the customers appropriately. So my advice here is that if you think the product is good or it's going to be good, test the pricing to what it should be, not to what it is now. So it's something that I learned along the way quite quickly. Now, so how did we get there? And first of all, from a digital marketing perspective, you would think, right, I have a thesis. These are the types of customers that will buy this product. So you go with that. And we thought, well, fitness people and people who don't eat healthy are the ones who are going to most likely buy our product. But what we have learned, casting our net quite wide, is that apparently the brand appealed a lot to females and the beauty angle was quite strong. So my first tip is that cast it quite wide and see who are your customers actually, not because of your thesis, but who actually buys. And for a young brand, that's quite common that you think one customer is going to buy, you end up with slightly different customers. So that's step number one. Now, as you get these customers, get to know them, analyze them, see who are your customers and why they buy, and then build products, build products for your customers. So as we released the multivitamin, we saw a lot of females bought it, and we effortlessly went with a beauty angle, releasing a beauty probiotic, and more beauty products or beauty-related products, and it's still going quite well. So my tip is that. So solve a problem conveniently means if you're a digitally native business, try to build not just the product, but the features of your website for the customers. Don't try to hide the way that customers could cancel or unsubscribe or modify the order, because if they want to, they'll end up finding this feature or calling you and pestering customer support. So be sure that you have these features ready in front of the customers. And if they're leaving, then you have to solve the product problem. But the features apparently need to be there. So solve this problem conveniently. My biggest personal learnings is, I guess, two of these is do everything yourself. And once you learn how to do that, then you can hire people for that. And a great example would be affiliate marketing. I had no idea what affiliate marketing was in 2019. I brought in a consultant for 3 weeks, twice a week. I learned everything that I could, and then only I had a hire which I managed to successfully interview because I understood the vertical. Same as paid social, product development, supply chain. Try to get people in who can teach you, explain to you how to do these things first, and then you can successfully interview people to bring them in-house. And actually, the affiliate manager that I brought in is currently a marketing director in a company, so that role progressed quite well, and my bet was paid off. And of course, small typo here actually says that if you don't know how to do it, find somebody to help you do it or teach you. And then once you understand how to do it, again, within your company, give them the opportunity to do it. Don't dump things that you don't understand to people because end of the day, you're going to be upset without knowing what they do and if they're actually successful or not, because some things really take time. Some roles takes 3-6 months to grow into and to see the performance. So please, as a startup founder or a small team, make sure that you know everything about the business and all operations, and only then place these responsibilities on other people. I can't say enough of how good this is. Now, best practices. Going into these things, I think it's very tempting to shout about big discounts and acquire customers with offers, but matter of fact is discounts are toxic, and the sooner you get rid of them, the better, because it really deteriorates the value of your product. You should not be selling the discount. You should be selling the product first. So as soon as you have less discounts, you'll see the CPAs are going up. And the longer you maintain these discounts, the difficult it will be for you to get rid of them. So best thing is, don't do discounts at all. Try to figure out how to appeal to your customer and the product and not have discounts. But if you do, just do a little bit and then just try to get rid of them as quickly as possible. Then, again, going back to discounts, another good tip is what I say is perceived value is better than monetary value. So if you're giving customers monetary discounts, 50% off, 20% off, 30% off, you're conditioning them to see your product as cheaper than what you usually sell it for. So instead, give them other things, a supplementary product, a free shaker, a free t-shirt, a free hat, a free cap, because then they end up buying the same product for the same price, and they get a little bit of extra. When the next month, the extra is not there, they're conditioned to see the same price. It's not going to be a shock for them to see a different price hit their payment method. So that's a valuable thing. And also, to you guys, the product that you're giving to brands doesn't cost the same as they see it as being sold for. So to you, it's probably at least half cheaper than it is. Now, keep creative in-house is something that is quite important. I'm sorry for maybe not saying this in the right way when there are a couple of agencies here that really work for the brands, but at least some part of creative is important. Let's say the concept origination or how to resonate with your customer is very important. If you think an agency was going to solve everything for you, you're wrong, because at least you have to know who your customer is and how to tell that story to them. They will help you, or your team will help you, but we found successfully that our CPAs did not change in the past 18 months because we kept creative in-house and we built a lot of content. And as you produce a lot of content, half of it will fail, but it's okay because you have a lot more coming. Then I guess digital advertising, get ready to fail at scale. And by that, I mean test all channels, but don't over-test. You think, oh, this channel should really work because it's working for another brand. If it's not working for you, then just go quickly and find the channel that does and scale that. Just because everybody's jumping on TikTok doesn't mean it's going to work for you. The product has to fit to the audience. So don't force it on them too hard. Then I guess from a digital perspective, customer acquisition and CPAs, we're going to optimize this campaign. It's going to fix our CPAs. The CPAs are 200. No, it's going to be 20. It's not going to be 20 after 200. So don't think that you can improve the cost of acquisition by 10x. Miracles don't happen. So don't waste money on hopes that it will. There could be a 2x, 3x, 4x improvement, but over the course of 2.5 years, we haven't seen 10x miracles ever, and I'm not sure that will happen. So don't get your hopes up when you think 10x is possible. At least that's what works for us. So another thing is, if you're a small ticket brand, if the purchase average order value is quite low, The CPAs also are not going to get better, are going to see CPAs increase over time. So make sure that you build other products so you increase the order basket continuously. Let's say if you have a CPA of 100, the product costs 50. If they buy 3, 4, 5 products, then the CPA will make sense. So as you grow, make sure that you think about a product extension strategy if the ticket size is small. Then I guess the don'ts are quite interesting as well. Big campaign, greedy offer. And by that, I mean, sometimes you spend money on these big opportunities, big campaigns, and you think, right, I already paid for that, so the customers just come flocking in because we paid for it. But actually what you need to do is you need to think of your audience with that campaign. Are they warmed up to your product? If they're not, don't think you have to set a minimum spend of 2, 3 products, and then it's going to convert automatically. So don't be greedy with the offer. So distant verticals, just because a vertical is big, don't think that you are going to conquer it. Make sure that the vertical that you're going into or sub-vertical really is adjacent to your existing customer base. Also freebies, right? So freebies, they're a good acquisition tool, but the retention is always bad. So my suggestion is don't do freebies at all if you're a subscription brand. And I guess I mentioned this before, don't push too hard. If it's not working, it will probably not work, and you can spend your time really improving the channels that do work for you. Now, we had a celebrity come on, Cheryl, in the summer of 2021, and shortly, what does that do for a brand? It elevates your brand, of course. I'm saying the obvious things, but the brand affiliation is also strong, so strong social proof, and it might help you get rid of some discounts. So if you bring somebody on, they advertise the brand or they're a face of the brand, you don't need to get those discounts in. You can say, this is the affiliation, this is the brand, we're a quality brand, this is the celebrity behind it. You shouldn't be adding discounts into the mix. One should replace the other in terms of trust. Their image is more important than your brand for them, so don't try to ask them to do things that they will not be doing. You have to consider what their brand image is. So just because you signed a contract or you paid something, doesn't mean they're going to jump hoops for you. Their brand is their brand, yours is yours, so it has to align, and don't think that they will do ridiculous things for you just because they're affiliated with you. They're protecting their brand as well, and you have to treat it with respect. Actually, one of the things that do allow you to go to next opportunities is an affiliation with that celebrity is opens doors. So people will heard of you, will be hearing of you, they would know you because of the celebrity. So just make sure that you leverage those opportunities when people say, oh, I've seen you with this person, oh, I've seen you with that person. It's a good conversation starter and a good opportunity to open other doors, such as retail, right? So TV then, I guess one of the last things I wanted to talk about, try before you buy. So as you tap out digital, have you actually tapped out digital before you spend on TV? It's never going to be as affordable as digital marketing, and the CPAs are not going to be there. So unless you really need to go into a completely large-scale audience, then maybe don't do TV too early, or maybe test it with a smaller budget and then try it. Because what we found is the overlap between paid social and TV is just 9%, so it's a slightly different audience. It could really supercharge your brand to get in front of a lot of people, but will they convert? And the question here is that they're not going to convert. It's going to be an awareness channel for you. So what you do with that awareness is up to you, but don't expect this to convert as good as paid social. It probably will not, but it's an investment in your brand image. As you think of TV, people do use multiple devices when they shop. You're in front of your TV, you're looking at your phone. It's a cross-device world, and the opportunity to attract more customers for cross-device with TV is certainly there at scale. So this is a really good channel to make sure that they are in front of you're in front of these devices all the time. But mostly think of TV as, are you mass market enough for TV? Because if you're not hitting 30–40% of those people with your product, then probably TV is not the best channel for you. It has to be really mass market. So what not to expect from TV? As I said, it's not a direct channel, so you will not get great CPAs. Do understand attribution, and a good measurement for that is the post-purchase survey, where you ask customers where they first heard of you, and then if they say TV, great, that worked for you, but it's not going to be massive. Reduction in CPAs. as I said, it's not an acquisition channel, so you will not expect massive reduction in CPA regardless of how much money you will spend on TV. And there have been months where we spent $500,000 a month on TV. The CPAs were mostly the same as previously. The majority of people on TV still are of age, so your product, is it for the older people? Then TV is golden for you. If it's for the 20-year-olds, maybe TV is not the best channel for you. And of course, the regular question is famous. Does that equal rich? And I will tell you, if you're famous on TV, it doesn't mean that you'll get rich off of it and you'll get massive revenue. So it's about how you gauge the opportunity of awareness. Equity for media. So we had ITV actually invest in Feel in 2021. What that means is they will provide equity. So we will give them equity and they will give us media spend. And the question is it as good as money? Would you spend the same amount of money on TV advertising? And fact of the matter is you probably won't, because they'll give you a lot of opportunities to spend on TV. But if you had $1 million, would you actually spend it on TV? Or would you put it more into digital or product expansion? So do consider that when you take it, if you get offered, it's a great opportunity to grow your brand really quickly, but it doesn't substitute the money, and you shouldn't be spending that much on TV at that stage. But they will become a supported and trusted partner, so they will not dump dead inventory on you. They will really help you elevate your brand and make you famous, which they're doing. I think we have a little TV ad at the end of it that we have on TV, so I might just try to play that. Maybe not.
Press it on the screen.
Sound? Let me try that again.
It's time to start the day right.
Rise and shine, my loves. Self-care starts here.
There's always time to start the day right, which is why I give my body exactly what it needs to feel
Perfectly balanced. Namaste.
It's not easy looking this glamorous, you know, especially when I have to do everything myself.
Well, almost everything. It's really all thanks to my wonderful team, Feel Vitamins.
Start your health journey now. Head to wearefeel.com.
Thank you so much.